Hi everyone, and welcome back to episode 2 of KnightTime. My name is Emily Aaron, and we have a full lineup for you today. We're talking men and women's soccer, volleyball, and of course, our football team. So stay tuned, and KnightTime starts now.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
All right, everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of KnightTime. Last week, we were talking about that UCF football game, which we came out and won. We will talk about that later. We are joined right now for the first time this season by my friend, maybe, Doug Smethurst. Doug, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's an honor to be on KnightTime, and I can't wait.
Doug, can you make that comment that you said to me earlier? What did you call me earlier?
You look like a blueberry.
All right, thank you. Now, I would like to slander you because that is one of my favorite things to do, but you did make 3 highlights for this show, so thank you so much for that. I appreciate your work, and you're going to do great today. Emily, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to you because we got a women's soccer game to talk about, don't we?
We do, Camden. And let me tell you, this women's soccer game was, at the beginning, you were like, oh no, are we going to pull this off? Boom, second half of the game, perfect. We got this one in the bag. And actually, Doug was there to see it in person. So Doug, why don't you, before we dig deep into it, why don't you give us the inside scoop of what you saw when you were there in person?
Well, the first half of this game, I don't even really want to talk about. We looked flat out embarrassing. We looked slower than Ole Miss. Their defense was suffocating us. We couldn't complete passes, bad turnovers. But as the game went on and when the second half started, we actually scored a goal 1 minute into the second half, and that kind of energized our team. You saw a completely different team in the second half. We're outrunning Ole Miss. We're connecting the passes. And in the final 5 minutes, we honestly had 2 amazing chances. One was saved by Ole Miss goalkeeper, which led to a rebound goal that hit off the post and stayed out. So we had our chances to at least tie. You can maybe blame this loss on the late scratch of Kristen Scott, but in the second half, we looked like a team that belonged, that can compete with these top teams. But in the first half, that was just an embarrassment.
Well, you're right. I do want to say, unfortunately, we did have our game against UNF canceled due to the weather. It was the day of our football game. I want to ask you, Doug, do you think that maybe that had something to do with the play in that first half? You know, they kind of got thrown off rhythm, not being able to play. Do you think that's why maybe they started out slow against Ole Miss?
I mean, it's a good chance. We also did have the weather delay in the Ole Miss game, so maybe that came into effect. But in the end, from the opening kick, first half, we just looked outmatched.
No, you're right. Ole Miss is actually ranked 9th right now. They are a really good soccer school, all right? They were ranked 13th when we played against them. And like you said, Kristen Scott was not playing this game. Emily, what do you think that late scratch had to do with us losing this game to Ole Miss?
I feel like it kind of takes a toll because she's such an asset to the team and such a great player. And majority of the scores and saves and things like that come from her. So I definitely think when she was scratched so last minute, it was kind of like, whoa, like what do we do? But we had Anna Henderson get the first goal of the season. So, you know, we have that going for us. And I think that is shining light to more players on the team and what we can do. And I honestly think it was kind of, I hate to say it, but okay that she wasn't playing because it gave the other girls a chance to truly shine because, let's be honest, Kristen Scott takes the spotlight almost every single game. So, Doug, what do you think that, just like Camden said to me, how do you think that affected the team? And let's dive into Anna Henderson getting her first goal of the season also.
Well, like you said, it gave the other girls a chance to show what they can do. It probably took them a little bit to get used to this new chemistry. They're not all used to playing together, especially when you're missing your best goal scorer, essentially. So I'm sure it was an adjustment for them, and you saw them make that adjustment in the second half. And, yeah, Caroline Delisle is always holding our net down. She made another great save in this game.
Well, you're right. She's always making those great saves. I will say it's good that Kristen Scott, maybe not good that she's injured, but we got to have that next man up or next woman up mentality. Anna Henderson, she got her first goal, like you said, of the season. It was actually her first goal of her career. And since she is a redshirt senior, she has been here on this team for a while. And having her first goal here at UCF probably felt really good. And yeah, I think it's good that Kristen Scott didn't really necessarily play this game because that way we can have those other players to rely on. Now, what we are going to get into is our men's soccer team. Have not talked much about our men's soccer team yet, but we're actually not that bad. We only lost one game to Wake Forest, who is ranked, I believe, 4th right now. So, Emily, I'll let you start off. What are you seeing from this men's soccer team?
I see great things. I think this season is going to be great. Well, right now we're traveling to Cali because we have a game on Friday against UC Irvine. So, I mean, the last time we played them, we did lose 0-1, but I think, you know, that was before, that was a few years ago. Like, I think we have gained full control of the field. We have a great lineup of players, and I have full hope and faith in our men's soccer team to take in a few wins this season.
Right. Doug, have you seen anything from this men's soccer team that jumps out to you?
Oh, I mean, our ball movement, first and foremost. We're connecting on passes, we're finding the open guys, leading to great chances. And we saw that in this game. 5 minutes into the game, on a goal kick from UC Riverside, we stole the ball, and then we set up a goal. 5 minutes into the game, we scored.
Now, the person that scored that goal, Gino Vivi, we got to watch out for him. It's his first goal of the season, but I've heard nothing but great things about Gino. I mean, this whole team seems to be really good. They're ranked right outside the top 25, I saw. And we played, who was it, UC Riverside, and totally shut them out 3-0. Emily, that game, what was it, on Monday? What did you think about that?
I think that just proves where we're headed this season. Starting with that game, we shut them out 3-0, just like you said. That is what we're looking for. This is the men's soccer team that we, you know, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to be as good as our women's soccer team, but I definitely think they have potential. And winning 3-0 with that game, and now we're on to the next, I think that is what is going to set a nice base down for this season, and I really am looking forward to what they can do.
Well, you're right. I did totally skip over it. You did mention our women's soccer team playing really well. We do travel to North Carolina, who was ranked number 1. They are now ranked number 2 in the country after 1 loss. We do have Coach Tiff back. And a little bit of history I want to mention. Both her and her husband that do coach our team went to North Carolina. All right, Doug, how is that going to affect now that we have Coach Tiff back for that game on Sunday?
I mean, it's going to make a huge difference for us. She's a great coach. She should impact our team greatly, keep us motivated, keep us focused, and make the correct adjustments even mid-game, where we don't have to make the adjustments at halftime. We can make it mid-game with substitutions that will keep us competitive throughout the entire game.
Right, we did lose that game without her, but luckily now she is back, traveling back to her old school. We got a little bit of bad blood there since she went there. Now, I will say, since we're wrapping up on this segment, the Nightlight of the Week. Let's go ahead and get into that. Now, I don't want to name who the player is. That's a new thing we're doing this year. But as you can see from her stats, she has been playing great all season, and she is returning back for her 5th year. Can you guess who it is? When we come back, I'll tell you who it is.
I'm going with Cowboys versus Giants. Why? Because I am a New York Giants fan, and I want my first pick of the week to be my team. I see an upset for the New York Giants this Sunday. Bet your entire savings, and I'm telling you right now, they're gonna win. I don't care what you say. It's gonna happen.
I have to go with the Raiders, I think, for this one. I don't see them losing.
Welcome back. It is now time for our primetime picks of the week, the best segment. I'm currently doing awful, standing at 16-10, Oklahoma State and Texas. I'm going Texas 35-27.
All right, Jeff, don't tell me your winner, but who is going to the Super Bowl?
The New England Patriots
Oh my gosh. Oh my
God.
gosh.
and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
God.
The
Oh
NFL
my
is gonna
God.
the NFL is gonna make it happen.
All right, welcome back to our second segment of Nighttime. Last time when we left off, I was letting y'all know that I've got this new Nightlight player for this week, and I believe we either used her last week or in the run-through, but my player is none other than McKenna Melville. She just reached her 2,000th kill, so congrats to her. We will talk about her later. But one stat I did want to bring up about her, she was the leading point scorer in all the NCAA last year, which, I mean, think about that. We are not in a group of 5 school, which I'm sure dominates volleyball. I'm not really sure. But she was a leading point scorer, better than any other volleyball player at attacking and at getting points. Now, we are joined by Mason Migliera for his first ever HTF appearance. Mason, are you excited? Are you nervous? What are you feeling right now?
I'm definitely pretty excited, but also got a little bit of nervousness, but I'm ready to do this.
Well, I saw that you had all those stats on volleyball, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it on over to my other co-host, Emily. Aaron, go ahead. Start us out with this UCF volleyball team.
All right, I'm so excited to talk volleyball. Let me tell you, we are starting off with our Syracuse game. UCF defeats Syracuse 3-0. This game was killer, obviously, because 3-0. We had 41 kills, 8 blocks, 35 assists, and 29 digs. Now, that's a lot for one game. That's a lot in general, but it just shows our girls are fighting. We are ready to win. We are ready to be at the top. Now, I think that, this sets a great foot down for all of our games to follow, which we will get into that later, showing our next game. But I think this Syracuse game really just was like a little pat on the back for our girls. Mason, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, exactly. Syracuse is an ACC member, so, with us being not in a Power 5 school, very important that we show what we can do. And we did sweep this match 3-0. We did start off a little bit rusty, had to go into extra points, but ended up pulling out the first set 28-26. And in the second set, we ended up winning 25-20. And in the third set, we kind of put them out of their misery, ended up winning 25-11. You mentioned how many kills we had. We had 41. And the aforementioned McKenna Melville, she had 19 on her own, and in that second set, she earned her 2,000th career kill, which is obviously so impressive. Her arm is probably falling off at this point, but hopefully not too soon. We need her for the rest of the season. We also played a very nice game. Not too many errors, only 11 compared to Syracuse's 18, and we had 10 aces, which is also very important. And as a team, we hit 341 from the line compared to Syracuse's 209.
Wow, you got the numbers ready to go. Now, I will say, I don't know exactly what the stat is, but she was close to reaching a 2,000 club. I'll have to do more research on that. As you said, she did get her 2,000th kill in that second set. But something more important, I think, is like you said, that first set where they squeaked by 28-26. Any team can blow somebody out, right? In volleyball, any sport. But those games that you're able to, get down there and win, all right? Like they did in that first set, really sets a precedent for how I think this team is going to do. And that's exactly what they did in that second match against Kansas State. Now, we fell behind early to them, I believe, but Emily, we came back and we won that game, didn't we?
Yes, we did. It was a very close game, almost a nail-biter. I was like, I don't know, are we going to take this? And, of course, we did because it's our girls' volleyball team. It ended up being 3-2, so close game, very, very close game. But we have all of our amazing players. We have McKenna Melville, who was just, she's our star. She's our star. She's just amazing. And I think that, this just proves, like I said before, we had the first game 3-0. Now it's getting a little bit tighter, 3-2, but we're still winning because we have a great team. We have a great team, and I'm very excited to see how they keep going. Obviously, I hope they stay on the winning track like they've been. But we're having records broken during these games. These players are incredible. And we actually won a 5-game set with 45 ties and 19 lead changes. So volleyball is looking up for us. We are climbing up to the top, and it's not going to take very long to be number one in our volleyball department. What do you think about that?
Well,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mason.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so we were playing Kansas State, which is a Big 12 team, and, we're going to be moving in there pretty soon, so got to show them what we got, right? And that's what we did. Obviously, started off a little slow, ended up losing the first set 25-20, but then we pulled out the second one 25-18, and this third set, in my opinion, was absolutely crucial. UCF was winning 30-20. No, I take that back. I apologize. We were up 24-21 with set point, and obviously you want to win that third set, so you don't have to win back to back, or you don't have to win one. All you have to do is win one. I apologize, not win two in a row. But two overturned challenges by Kansas State ended up giving them the momentum, and they won 30-28 in the third set. But UCF was able to pull out the win with Knight Nation on their back, won the fourth set, and in the fifth set, they ended up winning because of McKenna Millville. Again, sound like a broken record talking about her. She was able to put the game away and gave us a 15-11 win in the fifth set.
Well, that was great. I'll tell you all those numbers that you had right there. Right before we go to Emily's nightlight, my nightlight, like I said, McKenna Melville. She might be the greatest player that we've ever had in our women's volleyball history, right? She's doing things that nobody has done before, and I can't wait to watch her the rest of the season, right? All right, Emily, let's go ahead. Take us into that nightlight.
All right, let's get into my nightlight player. Now, my nightlight player, we haven't touched this team in our nightlight players for our previous show. But he was just recently transferred and is a starting player. So let's see after this commercial break if you can guess who my nightlight player is.
Why? Because I am a New York Giants fan, and I want my first pick of the week to be my team. I see an upset for the New York Giants this Sunday. Bet your entire savings, and I'm telling you right now, they're gonna win. I don't care what you say. It's gonna happen.
I have to go with the Raiders, I think, for this one. I don't see them losing.
Welcome back. It is now time for our primetime picks of the week, the best segment. I'm currently doing awful, standing at 16-10, Oklahoma State and Texas. I'm going Texas 35-27.
All right, Jeff, don't tell me your winner, but who is going to the Super Bowl?
The New England Patriots
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my
God.
and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
God.
The
Oh
NFL is gonna
God.
the NFL is gonna make it happen.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Nighttime. If you haven't guessed my nightlight player, then what are you doing? Because it's John Rice Plumlee. He was just our new transfer from Ole Miss. He started last game, had a total of 308 passing yards, 86 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown and 4 passing touchdowns. I think this transfer to UCF was amazing for us. I love having him on the football team. So excited to see where he goes next. And now, let's talk some football. Kelly Campbell's here with us today. How are you, Kelly?
Hi, back on my favorite show. I'm so excited to be here to talk about my favorite thing in the world, college football.
Hey, Kelly, just want to ask before we get into this, were you nervous Thursday night about the Penn State game?
Probably about as nervous as you were on the Saturday night. I don't know, Camden.
You know, all I'm going to say is you had a guy get a pick six and then throw up after, and you still almost lost to Purdue.
Yeah, I know. Thank God they're bad at time management skills, or I'd probably be in a much worse mood than I am right now.
Well, that's a story for a different day. We are going to get into some UCF football. I really have no clue what even happened this game because I was statting. I was looking down the entire game, so I only got to see about 3 plays. But what I do know is we dominated South Carolina State, all right? We had some transfers come, and they played great. But I want to hear, Emily, what did you think about this game whooping up on South Carolina State?
So I actually went to the game and saw it in person. And let me tell you, it's just different watching our team play in person than hearing the stats or watching it on the TV. This team is so, their chemistry on the field is just chef's kiss. They are just amazing, and the way that they play is phenomenal. Obviously, because look at that, but also look at our opponent. So, there's not much I can say to help out SC State, but let me tell you, this game was a great game to start off for our team. Of course, if we were to have lost our first game, it might, bring down the team, but having this huge win, totally destroying SC State, I think is a great way to start off our season. And all of our transfers shined this game, especially my nightlight player, John Rice Plumlee. He was phenomenal, as always, and, expected. Actually, I am curious to see what Kelly thinks about this. Kelly, what do you think about our transfers this game?
Honestly, someone I was really, really excited and looking forward to see was Javon Baker, and I got to see that action very, very quickly. He scored our first touchdown of the game, and as soon as he did, I was like, yes, I knew he was going to be good. I mean, we had a lot of hype about the Auburn wide receiver transfer coming in as well, but I had a feeling the Bama wide receiver was going to be where we lucked out, and that's what's portraying so far. I mean, so far he's already had 5 receiving for 84 yards and 1 touchdown. And I mean, that's not bad for your first game. He was more heavy in the first and second quarter as far as like being on the field. But I'm really excited to see what he can do against some of our bigger opponents coming up. And one of our bigger opponents coming up is not going to be Syracuse. This is going to be another blowout game. Maybe I could even guess the score perfectly like I did for last week.
Stop. That was actually crazy. I do want to say this, Emily, you did say something about chemistry, which is kind of crazy because UCF had a lot of new players, right? We're talking about transfers, John Rice Plumlee, Kamor Gamble, and last week I went on here and said, Javon, I don't know his last name. And Mr. John Alfano, who I could see out of the corner of my eye, said, luckily for you, I know his last name. And he let me know it. Javon Baker came out there and absolutely shined, right? Him and Kamor Gamble, who came from Florida, both had, I believe, over 70 receiving yards and a touchdown each. They both played great. John Rice Plumlee had that offense humming, right? Only turnover we had was that sack fumble that they almost ran back. And Ryan O'Keefe made a great play, by the way. I don't know if that plays in there.
also leads us in rushing yards for the season right now, too. Funny enough.
Okay, well, that's early, and we were splitting carries between Bowser and Johnny Richardson.
I was just saying it's funny.
One thing I want to ask, you touched on it. Where was Kobe Hudson, all right? We had this 4-star recruit come from Auburn, and I didn't hear his name called at all. I don't know if he touched the field. He had no targets, no receptions, no anything. I'm not sure where he was. Maybe he was injured, and I just didn't know it. But I miss seeing him out on the field.
I was surprised.
Right.
Because last episode, that's who I was excited to watch, to see. I wanted to see what he could do. And now I was kind of like let down. I was a little disappointed. But I still think, like you were saying before, last time we talked about our UCF football team, we were curious on how they were going to play because we have all these new transfers and all these new things happening with our team. And as I stated, their chemistry was amazing. So obviously we can see that our team is going to work really well, and hopefully we can dominate this entire season. Kelly, what do you think?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, the chemistry did look good. It is the first game against a cupcake, basically a middle school team. So
come on, they're just Division II. Don't hate on them too bad. They won their division last year.
I know they did. They won the Natty, whatever. We still beat them 56-10.
They beat Jackson State. Come on, that's Deion Sanders.
Okay, anyways. So, I don't know. I mean, we really just have to give it time. And like you said, with Kobe Hudson, like, where is he? Are we going to see him this season? Is he hurt? Is something going on? I mean, we're not going to be able to know until we get further into the season. So, it'll be exciting to see how we play another home game, a revenge game from last year against, like, on that pick 6 in the very last minute of the game. I still can't believe that almost a year later. But I'm ready to beat them. I'm ready to have them feel the effects of this blackout in our stadium on tomorrow.
Right. Real quick, we do have a revenge game coming up against Louisville. Like you said, it is a blackout game. I've been waiting for this game. I'm sure all UCF fans for the last 365 days-ish, give or take. Now, if you remember last year, Dylan Gabriel, the guy that we don't say anymore, quarterback of Oklahoma, went down and I believe broke his collarbone. You can correct me if I'm wrong. That game totally derailed the season. All right, Mikey Keene came in, didn't even do good, but I'm pretty sure he's younger than me, okay? And I'm the baby here at HTF. I don't know. If we lose to Louisville, I'm going to be awfully disappointed after Louisville got smacked by Syracuse. Emily, I want to hear how excited you're getting for this Louisville game.
I am so excited because it's going to be another win for UCF because Louisville played against Syracuse and they lost 31-7. So I'm going to go with this almost the same score that we just got against SC State. I think this is going to be another blowout game, and I'm so excited to watch this because the same vibe of last game, I feel is going to be the same vibe for this game because it's the same type of middle school team, like Kelly said.
It feels like the same vibe, right? But then when you go on ESPN and you look at the spread, the over-under is 61.5, which I would take the over if you're a betting man.
That's a lot of points, wow.
We're only favored by 5.5.
Yeah.
That is disrespectful considering they lost last week 31-7 to Syracuse. Disrespectful.
Yeah.
I think we're going to come away with a big win, probably 42-17, but it's ridiculous.
All right, I'm not even going to make a score prediction. Let's get to expansion talk because this is something huge. Kelly, Emily, I want you guys to name some of the pros. Kelly, what do you think about this expansion that we got?
Honestly, I'm excited. I've been pushing for an expansion, pushing like I have any say in anything, but I have been advocating for an expansion for the longest time. I don't think 4 teams is enough. It's never been enough, and the fact that they're making us wait till 2026 is kind of rude, but I mean, I guess when you look at what they have kind of laid out as far as like the games go, as far as playing home and homes, it's a lot, and it's going to be a lot of money, and it's going to be a lot of different rules and regulations they're going to have to adjust to get this to work, because if you're looking at a playoff finalist, that's going to be 15 games a year, and now you're looking at potentially 16 or 17, and that's injuries, and that's like they're still not getting paid, even though they have the NIL, they're not getting paid from the university. So it's a lot, Camden, but it's exciting.
Right. Emily, give me one con, one negative of this going on here, this playoff expansion.
I don't love it. I mean, I get it, like it gives more teams a chance, but I just don't. I think it's dumb, to be honest. I feel like it needs to stay the same. We don't need more change.
Yes, we do.
Football.
Yes, we do need change in football.
I disagree. Not everyone's a winner. We don't need more.
So you just want to see Alabama every single year win the title again?
Okay,
every single year?
It's not going to change who wins the playoff, but we do have to get to our game of the week, which is going to be Kentucky versus Georgia. All right, your quarterback eats mayonnaise, so you're going with Kentucky over there. And
Kentucky,
I know,
yeah, versus Florida, but close, right there.
Okay, and I know we have to get to it quick, but Emily, why do you think Kentucky's going to win real quick?
I just think we have a better team, and I think that, you know, Tim Tebow was the only good thing that UF ever had. So,
wow. Well, Anthony Richardson's going to prove you wrong. Kelly, who are you taking this week, real quick?
I was going to take Kentucky, but with the 50% chance of rain in Gainesville and a 7 o'clock game, I have to go the Gators in that environment, in front of their crowd, in front of their stand, by very close, by like 3. It's not going to be a big win.
All right, I'm going with Florida as well. Thank you, Doug, Mason, and Kelly for joining us. That was Nighttime Episode 2. Go Knights, charge on. Let's beat Louisville this weekend.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap.